Hello, I'm Steve White. I'm shooting the X1 out here in very gusty winds, 10 to 20. Local airport says 11 to 21 gusts. I never know when it's going to be. It's coming across this pond, right to left. I've shot it a little bit before trying to dope the wind, and sometimes it goes right where I aim, and other times it drifts. So I'm going to aim at the same point every time for 5 shots here. We'll see how it does. Wind right now The thing that amazes me is really how little the arrow is offset in this kind of wind, especially an almost straight offset arrow. And a light arrow at that, but they only weigh 413 grains. This crossbow is so easy to cock, rope cock, but I tore a ligament inside my elbow right here a few months ago, and it's almost totally healed, and I am doing everything in my power to not stress that ligament. I tore it once, and that's all the times I want to tear it. Didn't want to tear it then. About the easiest crossbow I've ever cocked. I think a 6-year-old could cock this crossbow with the crank, seriously. Let's walk up and take a look at this group. Remember now, this isn't really a fair judge of how tight the SWAT X1 can group at 101 yards, it is how tight it can group when the wind is blowing 10 to 20 with major gusts in there, and other times almost quiet. So we'll walk up here and take a look at this group, see if it might have killed the deer. Not that in any way that I'm advocating hunting at this distance, but there's a group from here, and I'm gonna walk up to the deer where we can see it better. I'm a traditional bow hunter. I hunt with a Palmer Whitetail Classic and have used traditional bows since I was 10. I'm now 74, and I still shoot traditionally every week, and I teach the National Archery program at the local school. And so I shoot there also. And I love instinctive shooting. I just use a crossbow primarily because that's about all for a long time we could use here. Okay, here we are. We're coming up on the deer. And this is what it did with no offset aiming of any kind, with a 10 to 20 mile an hour right to left cross. I hope I'm holding this where you can see it. I don't want to walk out in the water. It drops off pretty fast, plus I don't see any merit in getting my feet all wet. So there we are. The SWAT X1 is much like a traditional bow to me. I really, really love shooting the X1. Just coming out like this, it's so quiet, it's so incredibly accurate. It's just a very pleasant little bow. As soon as I'm convinced that my torn ligament in my elbow's okay, I'll probably put the crank cocker up. I have cocked it. I just took the risk a few times, and it was very similar, maybe a little bit easier than the Bowtech Solution or its predecessor, the Strike Zone 350, which was an easy crossbow to cock. So back there is where I was shooting from. Back there I'm now parallel to the deer. So